my name is Alex with Travel Fashion Girl, where we teach women how to travel stylishly light for any destination in the world. The weather forecast is showing all-time lows, so I thought I would jump on Facebook Live and share some ways to stay warm during the cold weather. The forecast looks a bit crazy and it's only November, so not only do we need to stay warm at home, but also when we're traveling. So I've got some of my favorite new products that I'm gonna be testing out, sharing with you. I've got some new boots to share, thermals, jacket, and in addition to some products that I wanted to share with you, I also have my tried and tested tips. First of all, before I start showing you the new products that I purchased, that I'm testing out, last year I put together a 3-part series about how to stay warm, and I created a capsule wardrobe, showed you specifically how to choose shoes. If you haven't seen these videos, they're really helpful. So that 3-part video series has a lot of really good tips. The first one is tips about how to actually plan for the winter. The best thing and the number one thing, whether you're traveling in the cold weather or warm weather, is always check the weather forecast. That is always number one. Always check the weather forecast, because it might look, even if it says it's 70, the wind chill factor might be really high, it might make you feel colder, and then you might, in another example, you might be going to what you think is a warm destination and it's actually much colder than normal, or it's a temperature that you're not used to. So always start by looking at the weather forecast, number one. 2, plan for layers. Layers are key. Really, for me, I'm from Los Angeles. I'm used to warmer weather. I spend all my time in warm weather destinations. So when I go somewhere with cold weather, I feel extra cold. So I layer on thermals, sweaters, jackets, the works, and I'll explain to you about how I stay warm using these layering strategies shortly. The other thing is to really pay attention to your fabrics, because just because something is thick doesn't mean it's going to keep you warm. And I've invested in a few key pieces over the years, things that I rewear all the time. And I think if you guys follow Travel Fashion Girl, you'll know that I rewear a lot of the same clothing, because instead of having more stuff, I want to have less clothing, but things that are really practical, functional, things that I feel really good in, and things that actually make sense as well for my lifestyle. And I rather buy less things, but the things that I do own, they are really versatile and I can use them in a variety of ways, not just for travel. It's all clothing that I use at home. All the travel clothing that I feature, like travel clothing that I do feature on the blog, they're all pieces that I wear in my everyday life, because really you shouldn't need to buy things just for travel. You should always try to look for things that you'd want to wear at home too. That's the real secret to travel fashion, is having things that you like for yourself. So I'll be sharing with you a few of those key pieces today, and of course, shoes and accessories. And as always, it's really important to buy practical shoes when you're traveling. Fashion and style and whatever is totally irrelevant if the shoes that you bring are not comfortable. So this is where it's worth investing in a pair of comfortable and practical shoes, things that are versatile, and also that you've broken them in before your trip. Please don't break in shoes the first day of your trip. That is very, very painful. And trust me, I've spent a lot of time in pain over packing the wrong shoes. Whether it was because I was breaking them in or they were just cute and really uncomfortable. The shoes that you wear at home every day and think they're the most comfortable shoes in the world, well, when you're walking for 8 hours straight and you're on your feet, they might not be the most comfortable. So that's when it's worth looking for cute and comfortable, practical shoes. So let's get started by me sharing with you one of my most recommended boots for traveling in the winter season. For the winter season, I particularly like to look not just for comfortable boots, but also boots that are going to be practical for the weather. And in this case, if it's going to be raining, if it's going to be snowing, I like to also buy boots that I can wear even when it's not raining and snowing. So things that offer practicality, but also style, and things that I'd want to wear not just in the rain. So instead of wearing like rubber rain boots, I'd rather buy regular looking boots that will work for any occasion. And before I get started, with my new pair of boots. So the very first item that I'm going to be sharing with you is this new pair of UGG boots. They are the UGG Wild Boot. They're waterproof. They are, they've got labels on there. Kind of gross, but it's okay. Let's see what the other one has. As you can see, I've already used them. So they're really very strong, very sturdy, very durable. They have the really durable rubber soles with tread, so that way you don't want to wear boots if it's raining that you can easily slip on. What I love about this boot is it's waterproof, so awesome. It's practical, that's great. I also like the style because this does not look like a rubber rain boot. It doesn't even look like a waterproof boot. You can take these through the mud, the snow, the rain, the water, and they're still gonna look good. They still look like a regular boot. They're a style that I like. I like the hardware. It's like this is sort of not gunmetal, like a lighter gunmetal hardware buckles here. They're really easy to they have 2 zips on each side, which is kind of cool. This one doesn't go down all the way, but which makes it easier to take on and off, especially if you're wearing them through an airport, which I do recommend always traveling through the airport with your heavier shoes. And in this case, it doesn't matter if there's metal because you're gonna have to take them off anyway. So really nice and practical, comfortable. And I also like this color. Because I wear a lot of black, I don't love wearing black shoes, and somehow I've been buying so many black shoes before. In this case, these are dark brown boot, and I love the contrast of a brown boot with an all black outfit. But I also like a certain shade of brown because I wear a lot of cool colors, like black and white. Then this is a cool brown. It's a bit on the darker side. So this for me is very practical. It will go with a lot of my clothing. I can possibly even wear this with tights and a skirt or a dress as well. But I wore these to go to the Midwest recently where it was cold. I would say not as cold as it is probably right now, but it was about, I think it was like in the 40s, maybe down to like 20s and 30s at some point. So this is where I tested everything out. I wore these to go hiking actually, just go hiking through the woods, go on a nice long hike. And I didn't really actually feel like there was any breaking in period, which is great. I was walking in them right out of the box for like 3 hours, I think, through a hike. So that was good. So they've got style, they're practical, and also because they're more of a calf length versus like an ankle or a knee length, they're also a bit easier to pack if you needed to pack them, versus tall boots. Obviously, if you're traveling in winter and you can wear the boots on the plane, it really won't matter because then you won't have to pack them. But let's say you were going on a trip to 2 different places or with varying weather, then you want to have the option to be able to pack your boot. So having a lower boot makes that a bit more practical as well. So I've covered the style, I've covered the color, warmth. So the cool thing about UGG is that they have, I believe it's sheep something, in the filling on the inside, which is really good because, let me see if I can actually show that to you. I don't know if you can see the sheep shirling, I believe, I'm not sure. But it's actually really nice because you get an extra padding between the floor and your foot. Because even if it's real, if you're not wearing warm socks in between like a boot and in between your boot and your foot, you'll feel colder. And especially if you're not wearing waterproof boots and it gets wet, you don't want to feel uncomfortable. It's going to make you feel colder. So by protecting your extremities, wearing really good quality shoes, having gloves, having a hat on in the winter, you're going to stay extra warm as well. So I'm really happy with these boots. I do like them. One thing to note is that they are 2 different fabrics, and I didn't notice that when I was buying them at first. And I almost returned them because I didn't love the contrast initially, because I wanted just to have a leather boot, and it has suede at the top and it's still waterproof. But let me show you that a little bit closer so you can see the contrast. So it's leather over here and a waterproof suede up here. When I saw it actually in the pictures, I'll post some pictures up, I did like it better, but sometimes if you're trying to go for an elongated look, it kind of just breaks it up in a weird way. It almost looks like my jeans were cuffed right here. So in that sense, it makes it a bit more casual, and I would like it just to be a little bit, if it was just solid, then it'd be slightly dressier. Not dressier, but just less casual. Not sure how to explain it, but in a way where it wouldn't, I could wear it with dresses or with an outfit that I might want to maybe look more polished versus just ultra casual. But so far, so good. I like it. I also have the UGG Simmons. Those are amazing. They're incredible, but they're now, I think they're going out of they're like UGG's not selling them anymore. So I was looking for a replacement pair, and this is the one that I bought. So that is the first product, these waterproof UGG leather wild boots. So very happy about them. They are on the heavy side though. Just know they are heavy if you are planning to pack them. On a side note, making sure, here's something about the boots actually. I wish I had sized up. I'm a 7. I'm a size 7, so that's actually something I should have covered. I'm a size 7, and sometimes I can wear like a 6.5 in heels or sandals depending on the brand. But in this case, I really wish I would have gotten a 7.5 because I didn't have room for my nice thick wool blend socks. So with the socks, these were too tight on me. So my mistake is not sizing up. So that's going to be uncomfortable when the temperatures drop even more, and I do want to have a thicker sock like this. It's a wool blend instead of having a thinner sock. So I think this could make me extra warm. That's going to be uncomfortable. I did try to wear this sock with the boot, and that made my feet hurt because then it became too tight. So it's also something to consider. Sometimes maybe it's not the shoe that's uncomfortable if you're having problems walking with it. It might be that the size is off or something's not right. So once I changed my socks and I put it to my thinner wool, the thinner wool socks that I own, then it was fine and they were really comfortable and easy to walk in. So remember to size up. And then Amazon also, they were part of Amazon's Amazon wardrobe program. I don't know if you guys have heard of that, but with certain clothing items, they let you order it and not pay for it. I think you had to order 2 things minimum. So I could have ordered like a 7 and a 7.5 had I been thinking about the sizing, but I didn't actually stop to think about that before. So with this, Amazon will send you these 2 products or more, and then you don't have to pay for them, and you only pay for what you keep. So that's a pretty cool option, and I think those boots were one of the products on there as well. So don't forget, with your boots, you also want to have warm socks. Socks are so important. Try to avoid cotton socks, cotton anything really. If there's going to be something that you're wearing that's going to be close to your skin, like socks or thermals, avoid cotton in the winter because it absorbs moisture. So as you're walking around, you're a bit your body's getting moist. It's stuffy. You're wearing jackets and all of that. Then instead of wicking away the moisture and keeping your body cool and warm, what it happens with the cotton, like cotton socks, is that it'll absorb and maybe your feet will feel sticky and wet and whatnot, and it's not really going to be able to insulate you and keep you warm. So what I found these wool blend socks on Amazon. I also have some from the Kirkland brand. Those are recommended by the readers and they're awesome, but I wanted to try something else. And we have an article actually on the website for the best winter socks. So we're going to go ahead and share that in the link below. And so that way you can look at some other options as well. But these are pretty good. I was just disappointed that I couldn't wear them with my new boots. So side note for socks. Next up, important layer, always the things that save me when I'm traveling in the winter or just being in a winter destination, thermals. Thermals, honestly, they're everything. And these are the secret, the absolute secret to packing light in the winter. Again, avoid cotton thermals, stick to synthetics, or in my case, I really recommend Merino Wool. They are expensive. They are, you're biting the bullet. It's like those decisions where you're like, oh, it's so expensive, I don't want to spend the money, but then you do, and I just learned that they're so worth it because with thermals, especially with Merino Wool thermals, the thing about Merino Wool is that it keeps you warm, it wicks away moisture, and it repels scent. It doesn't repel scents. So then you can actually rewear them often. So with one winter trip, for example, I'll just pack one set, and then at the end of the day, I'll hang them up, air them out, and rewear them again the next day. And like Merino Wool, like I met a traveler in Bali years ago, and she was wearing travel clothing. It was an Australian brand, and it was made out of a t-shirt that was made out of merino wool, and she'd been wearing it, I think, for 3 weeks straight. Now, I'm not saying that you do that, but you can do that with merino wool because it's that amazing of fabric, and that's where packing light comes into play, because when you've got these babies underneath the rest of your clothing, you don't have to pack a bunch of really crazy bulky things. It's easier just to wear this underneath a blouse, wear it underneath a sweater, and it packs a punch and warmth, totally worth it. I survived living in England with these every day in the winter. I think I slept in them, I lived in them. But today I wanted to try a different brand. We actually have an article on the website that talks about the best thermals. So we're gonna include a link to that below. I think it's right there already. And my favorite thermals are by Ibex. Ibex went out of business, I think it was last year, but I do actually hear, I think they're coming back. But I wanted to try something else, and I know that that the readers recommend and love the -33 brand. So I got these new thermals just so you kind of just have a look at them. They are they weren't itchy at all. They're not relatively thick. They're pretty normal, but I guess I could wear them as a shirt if I wanted to. But one thing to note is that merino wool, without being layered, doesn't keep you as warm as it would underneath something than if you're wearing it just on its own. So if you walk out in the cold and you're wearing just thermals like this, you're gonna be cold, no matter if it's merino wool or any other fabric. So that's what it looks like. It's got a pretty casual design. I chose black because I can just I do wear a lot of black. I can just wear it under anything. It's easy. These are one of the most popular thermals for the readers. They love them, they recommend them. They're like one of the best selling pieces that we've featured. So I can't rave about them enough. And the way that I wear them is that I wear the thermals that have, for example, my sweater on top and then my jacket. And that's like the perfect trifecta layering combination: thermals, a sweater, and a good jacket. And I can't just say how amazingly cozy and warm and perfect that is. And the other way I'd wear it is actually if I want to wear a blouse, and I actually meant to have one here, forgot. But you can layer, you can put this underneath a thinner blouse. I like wearing button-down blouses, and I wear this underneath. I button it up to the collar at the very top, then I put on a necklace, and nobody knows that I have this underneath, and I can have a pretty top. And the great thing about blouses is that they're thin, they're dressy, they're nice, and they're stylish, and you've got this underneath. Nobody even knows the difference. So that is pretty cool. So this is the -33 thermal top. And in addition to that, I also have the -33 thermal bottom. And this is what they look like. It's kind of hard to tell. Just regular thermals, nothing particularly special. With merino wool, I don't love hand washing clothes, even clothes that you're supposed to hand wash. So I usually put all my merino wools in the delicate cycle or the hand wash cycle in a washing machine. And then the key thing is not to put them in the dryer. Always let them hang to dry. Sometimes some readers have found that when they're traveling, washing the merino wools will take a long time for them. It will take a long time for them to dry. It depends, I think, on the merino wool. I've seen it take forever. I've seen some take dry really quickly. But again, it's not something you want to wash frequently because you don't have to wash merino wool. That's one of the one of the best things, one of the benefits about this fabric. So these are the thermals. I think about sizing versus I've had icebreaker thermals, Ibex, and now the -33. I felt like these were pretty generous in sizing. Normally you probably want to size down or even wear your true size versus sizing up with thermals, because remember, you're going to be wearing it under other clothing and you want it to hug your body as much as possible. So with this, I went with an extra small top and a size small bottom. Because with tops, I have a shorter back, I think, so I think an extra small or petite size works better for me. I'm 5'2", but I wish I would have actually gone down to an extra small in the bottoms, because I did feel like this could have been either a medium or a large. So they were pretty generous in sizing. I mean, kind of just see, like, this is supposed to be a small. It's, I don't know, it's pretty stretchy. It's pretty roomy. With thermals, I don't usually recommend them as leggings. People sometimes, or even I used to think, oh, well, perfect, I can wear them as leggings and they can double up. It's very rare that a thermal is not loose enough, that's structured, and usually they're too stretchy to be worn as leggings, and it just looks messy. And but this particular brand, I don't know if there's a particular brand, if you guys have one that you recommend that you can also double up as leggings. But this, I think, is pretty generous in sizing. So I wish I would have gotten the pants in an extra small. And the top, the top fit fine. It was comfortable. I don't think it was anything particularly good or off about the sizing. But I washed it once, and the fabric's pretty good, actually. One of the things I don't like about merino wool is sometimes it piles. But if you look at the fabric, it's the first time I washed it. It's not too bad, actually. I'm pretty impressed. It's pretty impressive. It didn't really pile at all. And I just washed it again. I put it in the thing, and I had it air dried. So let me see. It is 100%. Yep, 100% super fine merino wool. So definitely liking these. They kept me warm, and I will be using these from now on. But if you guys have any recommendations for your favorite thermals, please leave them in the comments below as well. And before I head over to the next product, if you haven't done it already, I would love it if you could please give this video a thumbs up or a heart, even better, to make sure that I know that you like it. I can create more videos like this, and I know that it's helpful. Please let me know your own tips about traveling in the cold weather. I love hearing from you, and if you have any questions, I do go back and personally answer all the questions or comments. So the next thing I'm going to show you is an Eddie Bauer jacket. I was looking for a new jacket. Well, strike that. I have an awesome winter coat, and I did a video about it before. It's called the Columbia Carson Pass 2. My gosh, this coat is incredible. Not only is it size inclusive, I think it's offered from petites through plus size, or at least like extra small to plus, I believe. But it is available in a variety of colors. It's reasonably priced, I feel, for the quality of the jacket, but it kept me warm and dry when I was traveling in London and Paris a couple of winters ago, which was awesome because we were standing in line to see the catacombs in Paris. I think we were standing in line for at least like an hour and a half, even with tickets. And it was pouring rain, and I didn't have, I think I did have an umbrella, but it was so nice to actually be dry, whereas everybody else was standing in line. Some people were wearing like white sneakers that were just like fabric, and or like really thin small jackets, and they were cold, because if you're just standing there, you're not moving as well, like, oh, it's just that, again, the cold just really just feels bitter cold. It's bone chilling. So I can't recommend that enough. I don't have it with me here. Have it at home in England. So I needed to try out, I wanted to try out a different jacket for this particular trip. But if you're looking for a heavy duty, awesome winter jacket, check out the video. It's in the comments below, the Columbia Carson Pass 2. So on the hunt for a different jacket, I turned to the readers and looked for one of their recommendations. And I wanted something that was waterproof, that was super important, breathable, practical, but also I wanted something that I felt stylish in, or I thought it was that would be a cute jacket. I really, if you guys know me at all, I'm not big into athleisure. I'm not big into casual, like really ultra casual clothing. I like to wear comfortable, but also slightly more polished clothing. So I have a very casual style, but it's a bit more polished. And I didn't really want to have like a traditional, like rainproof, waterproof jacket, like like an outdoor style jacket. But we have several articles on the best waterproof jackets on Charley Fashion Girl. We'll share some in the links below. And this one, it's Eddie Bauer, and I ordered it because one of the recommendations that the readers shared was the Eddie Bauer Girl on the Go trench coat. And when I went to go look for it, I went to look at it, I thought it was gonna be a bit too long for me. I'm 5'2", so I didn't want something that was super long down to like my thighs or my knees, but I wanted something to kind of just cover my butt and feel just like fall. So it's not too long. And I found this other Eddie Bauer jacket, and I really love it. I feel like I hit a gold mine with this one, because I just tried out one jacket, and I'm pretty happy. It kept me warm and dry, but I also like the way it looks. So I'm gonna put it on for you actually. Oh, the name. Let me show it to you. Let me see the name of it. I don't remember it right now. It is the Eddie Bauer Charley, the Eddie Bauer Charley jacket. And if you want to learn more about this or any of the other products I'm talking about today, head over to travelfashiongirl.com/Facebook-live, where you'll see links to all the products and get more info about them. So this is the Eddie Bauer Charley jacket. As you can see, it has, I got it in black, surprise. I wouldn't have minded getting a jacket in a different color, but I'm really particular about the hardware on the jackets that I buy, and this one is gunmetal. I really like either a gunmetal or a silver color for hardware in my shoes, my purses, or my jackets. And somehow it's really challenging to find a jacket without gold. And the reason why I don't wear gold, because it's not part of my color story. Everything else is cool, and gold is a warm toned metal. So I try to keep everything in silver or gunmetals, and I prefer it personally anyway. So that's why I went with black, actually, because I wear a lot of black as well, but also because I do like the hardware on it. And it has a hood. It's not removable, but I don't mind. It has a hood. It has you have the option to adjust the sleeves here, which is really good. I got it, I think, in a regular size. It's not petite. I got this in extra small. I would either get a small petite or extra small, again, because I'm 5'2" and I have a short back. So that was really nice. It has 2 pockets here in the front. And I think you're actually I just realized right now, I think it's similar to the Kenya Anatomy jacket in style. So maybe I bought it because I already have this particular type of jacket that I like. But what this one has in style that the Anatomy doesn't is a waist, the drawstring waist, which is awesome because, you know, in winter, all the coats are just shapeless. It doesn't matter what you have going on underneath that jacket. It's just, you always look like a snowman or bulky or I don't know what. It was really nice to be able to have the option to give myself a little bit more definition, more ladylike. So I like that. So 2 good pockets. Love the hardware. Also has a really good zip underneath the button. Has a little pocket here on the inside. So I'm not sure, does that, yeah, and it zips as well. So perfect. If you don't want to wear a purse and carry a purse, you can kind of keep money in here. Credit card. I'm usually like, sometimes I don't even travel, I don't even walk around with a purse. I'll usually just put, you know, a card and my ID and a little bit of cash maybe in my pocket. So that's really good. And then here's a drawstring waist. So I love that. It feels well constructed, really good material. And the fabric on the inside, you know, sometimes with certain waterproof jackets, it just feels like almost like a trash bag, and it's really unbreathable. This was comfortable. And while I was wearing it, I actually, a girl stopped. I was walking, I was on a walk, and a girl came up to me and said, "Hey, that's a really nice jacket." I was like, "Okay, cool, that's great," because it was new and it was confirmation that someone went out of their way to come up to me and compliment me on the jacket. That was a win. So I was very happy about it. What else does it have? I like the fact that the branding, you know, like Eddie Bauer is just here in a little piece of leather, and just discreetly here. I don't want to have clothing with a bunch of logos and stuff on it, so that's also really nice. The one thing I don't like is this contrast. It's kind of the little drawstring pull for the hood. It's like a little shoelace thing, but it's black and white, and I feel like it would have been so much chicer if it had, whether it was a black one or even, I don't know, just a solid color, or even like a dark, deep brown, kind of like the color of my boots, something different, maybe a touch of leather on the end versus the black and white. But I've decided to look past that. I've actually thought about trying to replace it, but I'll keep it for now. So let me try it on for you because I'm pretty excited about this jacket actually. Just gonna jump on my bed here for you guys. So I'm Playa del Carmen, so I'm in shorts. It's hot over here, I'm dying in the heat. So really cool. Like the sleeve length for me was awesome. Usually my jackets, my sleeves they're always here. So I always, with clothing, it's nice to have it at your wrist. And obviously with a jacket, you probably want to have something longer anyway. But I personally don't want to have something longer. I'd rather have gloves on if it's that cold versus having something that looks a bit sloppier and fit. So the arm length I felt was absolutely perfect. Obviously if you have longer arms, then you would have that coverage. But for me, like it just, by having the button to adjust it, it made it, I was able to stay here on my wrist and stay at a perfect length. So that was big plus, because with waterproof jackets or big jackets, you can't just fold them in easily or get those tailored very easily as well. So love the drawstring. You can adjust it as much as you want, but as you can see, even having it open, that there's some definition of waist right there, which is awesome. Gonna go ahead and zip that up. I'm not fully buttoned it, but I like it. I'm very happy with this jacket. I feel like I hit gold. I wanted a waterproof jacket that didn't look like I was gonna, gonna go on a multi-day hike or something, and this was cool. It's practical. I'd want to wear it anywhere. The hood also, actually another feature, the hood. Hood, sometimes they they fall into your face and your eyes. I've got kind of a small head, so I think it's it doesn't just fall into my face, which would suck. And then obviously it has the buttons, and then I could use the drawstring that I don't like to make it tighter if I needed to. But I'm pretty happy with this jacket. Again, it's a Charley Eddie Bauer jacket. Here's an interesting thing about Eddie Bauer. So it's my first time buying an Eddie Bauer product, and I ordered 2 jackets so I could test them out because I wasn't very familiar with the products or the obviously I know what Eddie Bauer is, but I wasn't really familiar with the actual products. And I ordered a jacket from the Eddie Bauer website because they always have really good sales, it looks like. And then I ordered this one from Amazon. Whenever I see a product with a retailer, I check Amazon and the website for the retailer, and also a department store like Nordstrom, because sometimes they're different prices. And I was able to get this one on Amazon cheaper. And so I ordered this one here, and the Eddie Bauer, the other jacket I was gonna test out, was cheaper on the website. So this one is the one I got from Amazon, and it came on Prime. It was there within like 1 or 2 days. The other jacket, I never got. So I actually ordered, because I was going to a colder destination, I ordered some clothing to show up at the destination in time for me to arrive. So I didn't actually travel with this clothing because I didn't own any. So I got there and the boxes were already there. So I kind of took a risk hoping that one of the 2 jackets would fit. And thank goodness this one actually fit, because the other jacket from the website never arrived. As it turns out, the order didn't go through, they didn't have it in stock, and I never once got a message from Eddie Bauer letting me know that the product wasn't coming. So that I felt was a bit, from a customer service standpoint, was not really reliable. They should have done some due diligence and have an automated thing saying, hey, your purchase didn't go through, it's not coming, something. Otherwise, if I would have just ordered from that website, I would have been stuck without a jacket. So side note, I'm now gonna just stick to ordering on Amazon, which is what I always do anyway. It's reliable, it's fast, and it's easy. So this is the Eddie Bauer Charley waterproof jacket. Super, super excited about it. Love the style, love the look. And I think you guys will probably realize it looks just like the the Anatomy Kenya jacket, like the style with the pockets. I guess it looks kind of like, I'm not sure, urban utilitarian, but I don't know, cool. Hopefully you guys like it. So those are some of the new products that I wanted to share with you for the winter. I'm gonna mention one more for winter. I mean, come on guys, I will always say J. Crew Tippy, like seriously, you probably think I have some kind of a brand deal with J. Crew. I've never even been in contact with them, but I love the Tippy, and it's always on sale. And some of the readers were saying that it actually, that the sizes that they're looking for are always sold out. So they're always sold out, but if you check back in, they're always restocked. They come and go, so you kind of have to keep an eye on it. Great thing about J. Crew for the tippy is that they're size inclusive, so it's available from petite to plus. I think it's size like double XS to triple XL plus. So there's a range of clothing. Plus, this is the piece that I wore. I featured it in my London and Paris winter packing list. I'll put a link to that in the comments below. But literally, what I would do is, even though the thing with the tippy is that I have a petite size medium. Normally for clothing, I get petite size small, but with this one, everybody's set to size up, so I sized up to petite medium. So just so you guys get an idea about where it falls on my hips, it falls right here. It's not too long, that's perfect. And the arm sleeve is, it's not supposed to be over here. This is kind of where it's supposed to fit you. So one thing to note, if you're looking for a long full sleeve top, this isn't the one. I think some people said the sleeves weren't the right length, but they're not supposed to be. And personally for me, because I'm short, I do like having a shirt that's just a bit shorter because it makes me look a little bit longer. But what I would do is I would wear 2 tippies and then my winter jacket on top, or if it's cold, extra cold, this, I actually wear under this, even though the sleeves would be longer. If it's gonna be a place where I'm not gonna be taking my jacket off, if I'm gonna be sightseeing outdoors all day long, I would do that. And I also have some silk thermals as well that I would even wear if I needed to. Silk thermals plus this, and then this, or a blouse, or another sweater, or whatever it is. So quick side note, I've gotta give the tippy a shout out here because it is an excellent piece to travel for the winter. I'll include, we have a link to it right below where you can see a full review and learn more about it and see pictures and whatnot. It's so versatile, I love it. Last thing about traveling in winter, even if you don't buy merino wool sweaters, you don't buy merino wool thermals, the thing that you need to do is warm accessories, because as long as you have a hat on, you have gloves, you have your clothes on, and then you have a scarf, no matter what it is, these aren't merino wool, they're not anything. I got these at Target, I got this at Zara. As long as you have something that's warm, it could be acrylic, it could be synthetic, but it really makes all the difference in the world, because it doesn't matter how warm the rest of your clothing is or what good quality clothing it is. If you don't have these, if you don't have gloves on, a hat or a scarf, then you're going to be cold. So these things can make all the difference. Even if you're not sure if it's going to be too cold, just throw in a hat, gloves. You can also buy them at your destination. I think I have some other gloves gloves and a scarf that I love to death, and it's from H&M. There's H&Ms in a lot of big popular travel destinations, so that's always an easy place to pop in and buy something that's low price and will keep you warm. And like I said, I think I got these in Target. And if you are going to Target, side note, these have fleece inside. So I'm not sure if this is available online, so we don't have a link to it, but yeah, look, it's fleecy inside, so it's so soft. And these are also the perfect way to add color to your wardrobe, because remember, especially when you're traveling in winter, people are only going to usually be seeing your jacket. So by choosing accessories in complementary colors, like I can wear these together, but they can work separately or together, and they also work with my neutral wardrobe, but this really adds a lot. And of course you can choose reds or blues and florals, whatever it is, whatever the prints are, the colors that you like. Use those pieces to really accent your travel wardrobe. And as always, try to choose a travel wardrobe with clothing that you'd want to wear at home, because if you're not comfortable and if it doesn't suit your style, it doesn't matter how practical it is. Whenever you feel confident, whenever you feel really good about yourself, that is what style really is all about, is finding clothing items that make you feel really good and feel confident in. So when you're traveling the world, you can be stress-free and just confident and have that much better of a travel experience. So I think that is about it for my cold weather tips today. I hope you found them helpful. Please go ahead and leave a comment below letting me know what's your personal #1 tip for traveling in the cold weather, or how to stay warm in the cold weather as well. Please remember to give this video a thumbs up or a heart. Give me some hearts, guys. Sending you lots of love. safe and stylish travels. See you soon.